Hi, I'm Carl Ford. We're here at WebRTC in Atlanta, and I'm here with Simon Boardman, who is the Vice President of Marketing at Eagle Creek. And tell us about Eagle Creek.
Carl, so Eagle Creek, we're a consulting technology company. We provide expertise to large enterprises in their quest to achieve customer intimacy. So we tend to work with the front office technologies that most people would think of as CRM in its broadest sense.
And overhearing parts of the conversation, you're on a massive scale with a lot of your customers. So when you're working with them, is their goal to be outward facing when they do the CRM function? Is it all about their customer relationships of a grand scale? Can you give me some ideal customer size?
Yeah, so most of our customers have gone through, as most companies have in the last few years, have gone through cost control and trying to really nail that stuff down, realizing these days they have to grow revenue. And one of the major ways to grow revenue is to achieve customer intimacy. I've got to get close to my customer. I've got to understand customer's journey. I've got to be able to position that journey and provide the technologies that makes those kind of investments scalable, sustainable, and repeatable. So once you get through looking at the abundance of technologies that exist out there, the second question becomes, how am I going to sustain those technologies? And these days the options are, I'm going to hire people in-house, I'm going to use contractors, or I'm going to use offshore, while the Eagle Creek alternative is to actually use an onshore model where we drive most of our delivery from our technology centers that are in the upper Midwest, North Dakota and South Dakota.
Okay, so I'll ask the question, as an insourcer, what do you find some of the benefits of using coders in the U.S. as opposed to coders overseas?
Well, so there's some traditional issues there. Mainly, I think people oversimplify some of those things. They talk about the time differences, they talk about language differences. I think one of the bigger issues is contextual understanding. And when there is a lack of contextual understanding, that puts barriers in the way of return on investment, and it drives return on investment down. So when you add to the challenge or the race that a lot of our customers are in to achieve customer intimacy, and there's a competitive element to that, they have to have speed to market. When they have to have speed to market, things have to get done right the first time. And we believe clearly that there's a role for all those components like offshore, but when you're dealing with achieving customer intimacy through adoption of some technologies, your best way to achieve that and achieve that speed to market, that competitive element, is to drive that delivery from an organization that can provide the contextual understanding of being a part here in the US.
So part of that contextual framework is the issue about what the customer is looking at. So how much of it is associated with mobile and tablets and baseline websites and that kind of stuff?
Yeah, I mean, most of the stuff we do, most of the work we do has some kind of mobile or web elements to it, whether you think of it as CRM, whether you think of it as just serving constituents, maybe in higher ed is a market that we're in as well, for example. So the vast majority of what we do, whether we're dealing with off-the-shelf types of application deployments or whether we're actually doing development, these days clearly a whole bunch of that is around mobile or is around web. So you can't, it's part of the fabric, it's pervasive in any kind of application you're deploying or developing these days.
And just so I'm clear, you basically are full service, basically take the project on and bring it to completion to them, right?
That's absolutely right. We right from the outset to getting it right the first time. We have a sort of a zero defects philosophy. That's what we look to deliver, and we're successful in doing that.
Great. Thank you so much.
Thanks a lot.